Good morning, students. We are going on with our third chapter, that is body fluids and their circulation. And today we are going to talk about ABO blood group system. See, ABO blood group system is not the only system that is or only type of blood group that is present. There are a lot more type of blood group that are present, but because maximum of the population, almost 80% of the population is showing ABO blood group system, that's why we are going to talk about this blood group system. If we see this ABO blood group system, that is containing basically 4 blood groups, and these are A, B, AB and O. This ABO blood group system that was given by Carl Landsteiner. He was the first one to represent these blood group. Now, simply how we are going to detect or how we know that which type of blood group is present, that is because of the presence of different type of antigens on the surface of RBCs, and because of the presence of these type of antigens, the blood group are detected. Means on the surface of RBC, antigen will be present, and this antigen will give us the blood group. If we see the ABO blood group system, the gene that is responsible for the manifestation of this is the gene I. Gene I is responsible for ABO blood group system, and this gene or ABO blood group system is a multiple allelic factor. Multiple allelism means in population more than 2 alleles are present, and these are IA, IB, IO. These are the alleles of this single gene I that is present in the population. Now in individual, we know in individual only 2 alleles are possible. So out of these 3, combination of any of the 2 alleles will be present in an individual, and this combination will describe the blood group of the individual. Out of these 3 alleles, these 2 are the dominant allele and this one is the recessive allele. Dominant recessive simply means they are going to express in both homozygous as well as heterozygous situation, and this recessive is only going to express itself in a homozygous situation. We will see how. So let's make a table that is explaining everything about the blood group system. The first column is for the blood group. So, type of blood groups. We are having 4 type of blood groups: A, B, AB and O. Now, let's talk about the genotypes. The possible genotypes for this blood group. So, genotype means the type of alleles that can be present in these individuals. The individual with blood group A, 2 possible genotypes are there. Either the individual will be homozygous for A or the individual will be heterozygous for A. Here O is not going to express itself because that is a recessive one. IA is dominant. So in heterozygous condition also IA is going to express itself. For IB also, homozygous dominant situation will be there or a heterozygous dominant situation will be there. IAB, here both the dominant genes are present and both these dominant genes are going to express equally, and that condition is known as codominance. Codominance means a situation in which 2 dominant genes are present and there is equal expression of both the dominant genes. In this situation, always a homozygous recessive situation will be possible. These are the possible genotypes for these different type of blood group. Now the type of antigen that are present on the surface of RBC. The antigen will be present on the surface of RBC. It is very simple to remember. If individual is having blood group A, that means A antigen is going to be present on the surface of RBC. If B blood group, then B antigen will be present. If blood group is AB, both the antigens A and B are going to be present on the surface of RBC. And if O blood group is there, that means O means 0. No antigen will be present on the surface of RBC. This is the easy way to remember. Now, and antigens are present. We know antibodies are present in the blood plasma. So, these antigens are present on the surface of RBC and some antibodies are present in our blood plasma. The antibodies will be, these are going to present in blood plasma. For antigen A, B anti will be present in the blood plasma. This is basically represented by small alphabet. For antigen B, A antibody will be present in the blood plasma. For both the antigens, no antibody are present, and in O blood group, both the antibodies are present in the blood plasma. There is significance of these antigen and antibody present on RBC and blood plasma. When blood transfusion is going to take place between two individuals, we generally match the blood group. Not in any type of blood group cannot be transferred into the body of the other individual. So there these are going to play a very important role. Now, how blood transfusion is done? Means these type of individuals, they can give blood to the individual with A blood group. This individual can give blood to both A and AB. B is going to give blood to B and AB. This AB can only give blood to an individual with blood group AB. This person cannot give blood to with individual with blood group A or B. Reason? Because if see, AB, individual's blood group is transferred in the individual with blood group A. So A antigen is present over here, but this individual is not having antigen B. And for this antigen B, antibody are present in blood plasma. So immune system will activate and agglutination of blood will take place because of the activation of immune system. That's why he or she is not able to give blood to these individuals. O is going to give rise to blood to all the blood groups. And reason behind this is that there no antigen is present. If no antigen is present, then there will be no stimulation of immune response. Now they can take blood from. This individual can take blood from A and O. This one from blood group B and O. This individual can take blood from all the blood groups A, B, AB and O. And here this is going to take blood from O only. So from this we can see AB is going to receive blood from all the four blood groups. That's why it is known as universal acceptor. And O is going to give blood to all the four blood type of individuals. So that will be universal donor. And before transfer of group, always matching of blood group is done. And if blood groups are compatible, only then they can be transferred. Otherwise, immune response will activate, agglutination of blood will take place and clot formation takes place, and this can even lead to death of the individual. Now another type of blood group system is RH system. This RH system was also founded by Karl Landsteiner in monkey named rhesus monkey, and that's from where the name RH is coming. Most of the white individuals, they are more, their 90% population are having this Rh factor. This is just like the antigens, and it is also present on the surface of RBCs. This is a Rh factor. So individual that is having this Rh factor on its RBC, that individual is known as Rh positive, represented like this way. And if individual is not having this Rh factor on the RBC, the individual is known as Rh negative. What we do generally, if you have ever seen how blood group are seen, let's talk about one single condition. Suppose this is a glass slide. So whenever there is some physician or doctor that is going to examine our blood group, what he or she is going to do, he is going to prick your finger and put the drops of blood, 3 drops. This is how 3 drops will be maintained. Now they are going to add antisera on these drop of blood. This will be antisera A, antisera B and antisera D. These are for antigen A and B, and this is for Rh factor. What will happen? Suppose I am taking a condition that the individual is having blood group A positive. Then what is the result that is going to come on this glass slide? The result will be, if individual is having blood group A positive, that means agglutination will take place over here, showing A blood group. So antisera is going to react and agglutination will take place. And for positive factor, the next agglutination will take place over here. This is for positive and negative, and this is for A blood group. So if this is the type of result, that means the individual is A positive. So this is how blood group are easily find out. If we talk about the Rh factor also, that is also a dominant factor. So R gene is responsible for the Rh factor. That means in both homozygous and heterozygous conditions, it is going to express itself. And if the individual is having both these type of genotypes, the individual will be Rh positive. And if this situation is present, this is the type of genotype, then the individual is Rh negative. This is how genotype of Rh blood group is find out. Now let's see the incompatibility in the Rh factor. ABO blood group system is matched before the blood transfusion. Rh factor is also responsible for the activation of immune response. Whenever the individual having blood group Rh negative, he or she is transfused with the blood having Rh positive, that means this individual's immune system will be activated and agglutination of blood will take place because of the activation of immune system. So this is also taken care of during the time of blood transfusion, both the blood group and the Rh factor. Sometimes incompatibility of blood group takes place between the mother and the fetus. There is incompatibility of blood group in mother and fetus, and that is occurring because of this Rh factor. The condition is happening when mother is Rh negative and fetus is Rh positive. During the gestation period, at the time of first pregnancy, the blood group of mother and fetus is not coming in direct contact with each other, but at the time of delivery, the fetus blood is coming in contact with the mother. So there are no problems in the first delivery. The first child will be normal, but it has activated the immune system of mother, and the mother immune system has started producing antibodies against this Rh factor, because mother's body is taking this Rh factor as a foreign agent. During the time of second child, mother's body is already having the antibodies for Rh factor. So if second fetus is also Rh positive, these antibodies are going to destroy the RBCs of fetus. So if fetal RBCs will be destroyed, there will be deficiency of RBCs in the fetus, that is leading to almost an anemic situation, and it is known as erythroblastosis fetalis. So there will be problem in the delivery of second child. The growth of second child, the RBC of second child will be destroyed. That's why what doctors do during each pregnancy, they are going to inject anti-RH antibodies in the blood of mother. So these anti-RH antibodies are going to kill the RH antibodies, and the health of the fetus will be not affected because of the difference in the RH factors. Now let's talk about the next topic, that is blood clotting. Blood clotting simply means a clot is formed at the place of injury, and this clot formation is preventing the loss of blood from the body. The blood clotting is a cascade in which different enzymes are working, different factors are working in a sequential manner, and the factors which are responsible for the functioning of blood clotting are known as blood clotting factors. How these blood clotting factors are working? Platelets, the blood cell corpuscles, platelets are also helping in the blood clotting mechanism. What will be the cascade? Whenever we are having an injury, at the place of injury, the injured tissues as well as the platelets that are present over there, they are going to release a factor that is known as thromboplastin. So some of the injured tissues plus the blood platelets, both are going to release blood clotting factor that is thromboplastin. This is coming from blood platelet. Now these thromboplastins are going to combine together in the presence of calcium ions, and they are going to form prothrombinase. This prothrombinase, it is acting as an activator. It activates another blood clotting factor, and this blood clotting factor is secreted from liver, and there is requirement of vitamin K. Earlier also I told about that for blood clotting vitamin K is required, that is responsible for the formation of prothrombin in liver. This prothrombin will be activated by prothrombinase into thrombin. And what this thrombin is going to do? This thrombin is going to break down a polymer, that is fibrinogen, into its monomeric units. So fibrinogen is a big size molecular polymer that is broken down into its monomeric form, that is fibrin. Here it is also, this prothrombinase is also responsible for the inactivation of heparin. Heparin is an anticoagulant. It is preventing the clotting of blood. So at the site of injury, heparin will be inactivated so that clotting of blood can take place easily. Now what this fibrin is going to do? This fibrin is going to form a mass of fibers, entangled mass of fibers. It is going to form a crisscross arrangement where at the place of injury. So because of this mass of fibers, a network is formed, and in this network the corpuscles or cells are going to trap. The blood cells are going to trap, and they are going to block this passage, and because of blockage of this passage, blood is not going to move out. This is known as blood clot. This is how clot is forming. And after the formation of clot, a pale yellowish liquid starts moving out, and now that pale yellow liquid is known as serum. Why we are calling is that serum? Because this is the blood plasma that is moving out, and this blood plasma is not having cells or corpuscles, plus it is not having the blood clotting factors. So serum is blood plasma that is devoid of blood cells and the blood clotting factors. This is how blood clotting is taking place, and in a normal individual the time of blood clotting is almost 3 to 8 minutes. At this time normal clotting of blood is taking place, while the person with having some of the genetic disorders like hemophilia, because of the absence of some of the blood clotting factors, their blood clotting is not going to take place, and for a small injury they have to go for a medical help. Now the functions of blood. What blood is going to do in our body? The first important function of blood is transport of food. In our digestive system also we talked that from small intestine all the digested food is going to be absorbed by intestinal cells and they will be diffused into the blood capillaries. Now these blood capillaries are going to transfer, or they can going to supply these food components to each and every part of our body. So blood is helping in the transportation of food. Blood is also helping in the transportation of hormones, proteins, enzymes. All these components, the endocrine glands are going to secrete their secretion hormones in the blood, and the work of blood is transfer or transport these hormones at the site of their action. So this transportation is also done by blood. Then blood is also responsible for the transportation of dissolved gases. Carbon dioxide, oxygen, they are going to bind with hemoglobin that is present in the RBC, or they are going to dissolve in blood plasma, and with the help of blood, because blood is a mobile connective tissue that is going to circulate in all parts of the body, so it is continuously transporting these dissolved gases. It is going to deliver oxygen and take carbon dioxide from the tissues and give it back to our lungs. Then fourth important function of blood is it is helping in maintenance of pH. Various acid-base buffers are present in the blood and maintenance of pH will be there. Another is distribution of heat. From the deep areas, from the deeper cells, blood is going to deliver the heat to the surface areas. So this is how heat is distributed with the help of blood. Loss of blood is prevented, or we can say simply the injured site are healed. Healing is taking place because blood clotting factors are present. So because of the presence of blood clotting factors, loss of blood will be prevented. There is regulation of temperature. Because of the continuous movement, blood is going to regulate the heat and it is maintaining our body temperature. Another, blood is containing waste. Nitrogenous wastes like urea, uric acid, they are also going to enter into the blood, go to the kidney, and from where filtration is going to take place. So this is how various functions of our body are performed by blood. Just like blood, our body is also having another connective tissue, that is lymph. And this lymph is making the lymphatic system. We are briefly describing what is lymph and what are the different components of lymph. If we talk about lymph, this lymph is having almost similar composition with the blood, but there are some differences. Like just like blood, lots of 90% of water is present inside the lymph. the amount of protein in blood, we will find more amount of proteins as compared to lymph. So lymph is having proteins but at a small level. Lymph is having high concentration of glucose. So lymph is having all water, inorganic substances, various organic substances. All these are present in the lymph. Now the lymph, it is pale yellow in color, and the reason behind this is because RBC are not present in the lymph, and because of the absence of RBCs, the color is pale yellow. Lymph is having leukocytes, means WBCs, and the maximum leukocytes, the type of leukocytes that are present in the lymph are lymphocytes. If you remember, yesterday we talked about agranulocytes, and the agranulocytes were monocytes and lymphocytes. So lymphocytes are present in maximum amount in the lymph, and RBC and platelets are absent. So these are the type of cells that are present in the lymph. If we see the organs, the parts where lymph is going to form, you remember tonsils in Waldeyer ring, different type of tonsils are present, and which are responsible for the secretion of lymphocytes. So that is the point part where lymph is going to form. Another one is Peyer's patches present in small intestine, that is also responsible. Then we are having spleen. Another is lymph nodes are there, or you can say thymus gland is there. So all these are our lymphatic organs. They are the part of lymphatic system. These are lymphatic organs. Now that lymph is comprises of, or lymphatic system is comprises of, lymphatic system is having, again lymph plasma is there and lymphatic cells are there. Other than this, the lymphatic system lymph capillaries, lymph vessels, lymph nodes are there. This is how lymphatic system are present. This lymph is going to present between the tissues, between the spaces, that is coming because of the leakage from the blood vessels. I am talking the function also. So function of lymph is to keep our body cells moist. Because of the presence of this liquid, all the tissues and cells are present in moist conditions. Fine. The second thing is, this lymph is acting as a middleman. Here some proteins, large size proteins are present. This lymph is going to enter into the blood, into the venous system, and from here it is going to transport all the important proteins back into the blood. And because of this, again these proteins will be added into our circulation. So it is moving only in one single direction. From tissues it is moving towards the heart. So only single movement is there. Another thing is, these lymph capillaries are going to carry these lymph between the tissue spaces, and they are joining together to form large size vessels, that are lymph vessels. And these lymph vessels are having nodes known as lymphatic nodes at intervals, and these lymphatic nodes are containing lymphocytes. And below lymphocytes, they are going to produce antibodies which are responsible for the cleaning of the lymph. So all the cells, or you can say foreign agents, microorganisms will be killed over here. So it is, lymph is also helping in making our immune system. And from here, this pure lymph will be entered into the blood. This is how lymphatic system is functioning. Next time we will discuss about our main circulatory system.